You're now listening to the Open Africa podcast with Laolu, Nosa, and Furo. On this episode of the Open Africa podcast, we will be talking about ChipperID, Anchor and Nestcoin's recent raise, Flutterwave's new product, Swap, and
Swap.
and Float losing money.
Don't worry, it'll be inside.
Inside where? Anyways, ChipperID. ChipperCash recently pivoted from their core business into offering KYC services. Their pitch is that they have onboarded millions of customers onto their platform and they've learned lots of lessons from onboarding these users, and therefore they have pivoted into helping their competition onboard users. Thoughts?
That's a very interesting pivot, to say the least. Mm-hmm. To go from neobanking into identity management.
It's a very sharp turn.
Yeah.
If they said they were going to do cross-border APIs,
It will have been...
I would say it makes sense.
Yeah.
They said they sold open banking and saying that they're giving access to everybody to do what they're doing or whatever. Like,
I'd get it.
yeah.
But KYC,
Yeah.
I watched the demo.
AID.
AI. Let me not laugh. I watched the AID and I saw like samples of the thing, and essentially it basically takes you to the cheaper experience. I don't know why you would want to, if you're like a leading player in the space, why you'd hand off that experience to cheaper
As a competitor.
because I feel your onboarding is also one of your things that sets you apart.
Yeah, USB.
Yeah. So if you're just taking it from, and in fact, even like compliance, I don't know. It's a very sharp pivot, right? And despite all the angles, it doesn't look good to me. For a number of, if you can bake it anyhow, why are they going into this at this time? Is this like a desperate play for
Survival.
It's because there's been the rumors about them being on the brink. So going into KYC, is that a way to just speed up one revenue line that can pump up your books, or is this a way to incorporate AI and say you are doing this? But I just don't see the angle. There's this guy that does this newsletter, Afri Digest, and he writes about, and he kind of, I don't pay to subscribe, so I couldn't read the full thing, but he kind of compares it to Amazon doing AWS and co. And it's not the same thing. I don't know. It's not the same.
Yeah. On the bright side, they unblocked my account.
They unblocked your account so that you can.
Then they asked me for BVN information,
exactly,
and I'm like,
so
look at you.
As ChipperID.
Look at you. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Not really interested in giving you my BVN anymore. Sure, you pursued me before.
Because one of the things they said is that they can do like one-click onboarding, because if you've been onboarded before. Now, if this was a KYC provider, like say Doja or SmileID that was selling this, I wouldn't mind. But if this is someone that's a competitor, so imagine if every new user that you onboarded and they are collecting your email, collecting phone number, it's not, there's nothing that suggests that there are Chinese walls between ChipperID and ChipperCash. Like it's the same company. There's nothing. Why can't a growth guy just say email blast, click here to download ChipperCash to everybody that was onboarded? Like, what is stopping them from doing that?
Well,
Like when they're doing their whole presentation, like I was like, in my mind, I was like, this is all well and good that you're selling your internal tools, but how do
I, as your competitor, know that you're not just trying to mind my users?
exactly? Yeah. If I was just starting today, maybe I'll get like, okay, I can see why there's benefits in ChipperID, but imagine talking to OP.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I always like to be the one that wants to look at it from their perspective, but like,
To them, it looks logical, yeah.
Yeah.
Like it looks like, oh, we've learned so many lessons from this thing, we might as well monetize it.
to some extent. But then also, I think that just the business environment
You know-
right now is tough,
Yeah, you know
and people are just trying to survive.
the interesting thing to me about this is it was a couple of episodes ago, Nosa, that you were saying that the work that they've done, Chipper, that is like super impressive, is their compliance work. And in a sense, this sort of
I mean, but
aligns.
this he aligns, but this is like your secret sauce. Is like, oh, we've done this thing.
Yeah,
this
but
is
now
that.
they want to monetize that
They want to
secret
monetize
sauce.
that.
So I guess it's fine.
I'll give you an example. When Flutterwave initially came onto the scene, that they were tightly married to Access Bank, there are so many people that said nah. Like so many banks that said nah, because as far as they're concerned, this is you want me to a Trojan horse.
Yeah.
And it was only when there was that clear fight between Access and Flutterwave that the conversation started changing. Right now, Chipper, even their AID, did not say anything about how Chipper ID is standalone from ChipperCash or anything. So from a risk perspective, I wouldn't agree if I was a guy at Pompey or OP. If they
Yeah,
came
to be
my
fair,
door.
you are my competitor now trying to provide
A service.
like a service. And just as a segue, it's a potential issue that people were saying that hydrogen was going to have, because why would I, as a bank, hand over my processing to you, Access Bank,
Exactly.
my big competitor in the market?
It's the same thing. Habari
Habari.
has the same issues. Why would I route my things through you?
Yeah.
And they come is like, oh, we can give you switching to all the banks. Okay, how many banks do you have? We have GTB. Hydrogen will come. We can give you switching to all the banks. How many banks do you have? I have Access Bank.
I hear that hydrogen has gotten a couple of banks, yeah. But I'm not sure if like the Fugs, excluding
They'll probably
Access,
get like a Unity
are
bank
there.
because it's
Please, who backs Unity Bank?
it's just it's what, as far as they're concerned, it's the same way. Like when Providus came, Providus had another bank be their sponsor bank for cards, for instance. It's when you're small, it's okay, but a big player, you cannot give. Again, if they did transfer, I said they were giving you transfer API. I can see it, but you wouldn't even keep it with them for so long.
Yeah. I'm trying to, I don't know. You know, the thing is for me, like sometimes these people sit in their nice board meetings. And I think that somebody somewhere saw something that they thought was a grand opportunity, right? Because if all of them are doing it, there's something they're all seeing. Do you get what I mean? But I guess logically, looking at the market from my perspective, I just don't see where.
It's like, why? Why would I do that?
Anyways, I think we can move on from this.
Anyway, I mean, because even again, good segue into Anchor, who are offering banking as a service, and they've raised 2.4 million. In the TechCrunch thing, he says they've processed, their total transaction value is 550 million, but they don't really say at what rate, which is why I'm starting to think it's just full of shit, because 550, the rate tells you, it can tell you a lot. If it is like Tinubu rate, it's like, these guys are moving. If it's Buhari rate, it's like,
But who are, so I asked you this before, who are the people that use Anchor?
their customers are Lifebank, Waza.
Who is Waza?
Waza, they said they're B2B cross-border something. They got into YC. But one of the co-founders are Waza, and one of the co-founders are Anchor. There were two co-founders together
Once upon a time.
Amplify.
Gotcha.
So there's that one, you can do it. They say they do Seamless HR. They do banking and service for Seamless.
We've had extensive conversations about the entire banking as a service industry in this country, and how like there is such a limited number of viable financial service providers. I'm happy they've raised, but it takes us back to that conversation.
I wonder what valuation they raised that.
This is their what series?
Seed,
I guess.
Seed.
Is
Is this
seed?
market? What did they sell?
they tried.
How did they sell?
They tried.
I want to go for classes because how?
I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but that's not something that will get returned.
Well,
That's
In the current state of the business. Or let's say maybe there might be a pivot in the future, blah blah blah. But in
from your understanding
my
of
current
this,
state. So because they said, they stand a strategic partnership with MTN, and for me, it cannot pass. You're selling MTN that time.
Okay.
let's wait until we see details.
No, but didn't Block start out doing banking as a service as well? And now they have like a direct to consumer play.
Block, who were previously Tech Advance, again, they started out doing banking as a service. Now they're saying they're doing banking as a service, but before it was called Block, it was Tech Advance. And before it was Tech Advance, it was, oh my god, I forgot the name. Is it 3GP or it has a G in it? GPay.
Oh, GPay.
Yeah. When it was GPay, I don't want to say, again, nobody should sue me, but essentially they had an in with power companies for vending.
He said nobody should.
Like Vertebra, like there are some old school companies that have ins for certain things. Like guys that sell Vertebra that the old school, they call IT companies. All those CWG era that have
Computer technology,
computer tech. They are not
ICT
ICT companies.
Yeah.
They are the ones that collect the initial contract
Yeah.
for all this vending at telco, not telco, but like power bill, EKDC, VAS, JAM, wire checker, blah blah blah. Then somebody comes and resells makes it look sexy, blah blah blah. So GPay was one of those guys. They became Tech Advance. At least Tech Advance was the parent company, and now they are now Block, and now they are now a sexy company, and and everybody has forgotten their origins, which is okay, and it's fine. It's good. It's very good to rebrand. But Anchor is not in that era because that's a very man-no-man business. That kind of rocks. Anchor is very much tech, modern day Kini. So, in terms of what they're going to offer you, if maybe you do strategic partnership with MTN, because it doesn't even say what the strategic partnership is. It just says it's a strategic
I just
partnership
wonder
with
if
blah, blah,
maybe
blah.
they themselves have like a direct to consumer play as well. Because
Right now they don't. They haven't said they do. Because if it's airtime, again, there are plenty guys in this. So their whole thing is, they do virtual accounts, they can give you transfer API, etc. If you are someone that doesn't know anything, I can see how you'd integrate with them as the one-stop source, blah, 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 blah. Yes, now, if you are starting a product and you are just following on Twitter and you're not really in industry, it's very easy to sign up with tech-friendly stuff and they'll charge you anyhow and you just be there, blah, blah, blah. But if you are serious about this business, you'll be going to the e-transacts of this world, the inter-switches of this world for bills pay. You go to NIPSEF to collect some things from
credit
Source.
switch.
Do you understand?
You go and meet them.
You go to you go to the Sochitels of this world. Like basically the guys that are
Those guys.
the guys tapping from Source.
Yeah.
And maybe
Those
you are
fast
next in line.
guys.
And by the time you even scale, you start shanking them and start going to the Source.
Yourself.
Exactly.
You
Like
trade
OP and
partners
Co
yourself.
are going to Direct, getting this Glow, getting Airtel Direct. They're not going to any aggregator. So it's not an OP that you get that will come on. It will be a random guy. Again, Lifebank. What fintech is Lifebank doing? seamless HR. Maybe they need transfer API so they can, and virtual
Wallet.
accounts, wallets.
Yeah, so
So they
do
can.
account. I think their products are cut across accounts, transfer, and something else.
So for me, it's like having this context of how that business is raising 2.4 million is mad because I don't know what story you told when
Yeah.
the guys that are doing it from source are not raising that money.
Mama, I don't really have any opinion about.
But again, I don't want to knock banking as a service, but banking as a service in Nigeria, I would say is a bit too early for you to try and think this is how you blow.
Yeah, especially because the incumbents have like all the resources to make it work much better than you. In many cases, they are the actual providers. They can provide things for cheap because they are getting it for dirt cheap themselves.
Someone is saying banking as a service and they're giving you Provido's virtual account. And they're giving you Wema Bank virtual account. You can go and they will charge
can go
you.
and meet Wema
and they will
directly
charge you maybe 1% for inbound. Provido's will give you that thing free. The only thing they charge is stamp duty.
Yeah.
So like I said, if you are serious about this business, you would have been talking to these guys rather than saying, oh, I'll collect 1%, I'll collect virtual account. And
I feel like I ask this question every couple of months, but where is One Pipe?
they are doing banking as a, well, they have not do again them. I think they have also seen the reality of the market, so they are going to like FMCGs and all these guys that are not thinking too deeply about
They're
this thing.
thinking deeply, but they don't know how to execute.
They don't know how to execute. So you can, because even if you're a serious business, if you say you launch with Anchor, you're not going to do Anchor more than 1 year. If you are a serious business,
Do you have any insight into their pricing? What their pricing is like? No.
nah, I don't have any insight. They don't display pricing. It's contact us for pricing. But I feel like if you're a serious business, these are core elements of your product. You want to bring it in house
Eventually.
Yeah.
because that's how you find people charging 25 naira for transfer because the banking as a service provider is robbing them blind.
Yeah. And they don't even know. They don't even know that at source that thing is like 3 naira.
It's
50
3 naira
kobo.
now. It's 3 naira 50. Nibs has reduced it.
Yeah. It's crazy. I mean,
It's like you use Paystack for transfer API. It's a convenient thing to do because you have a Paystack integration. But when you say you are serious and you want to do this business, you start looking.
I don't think Providos is offering at 3 at cost, Sha. I think they too they are marking up.
They're not marking up anything.
And that means I need to have a conversation
If you're
with my
doing a
Providos
virtual
guy.
account, it's treated like a bank account. They don't charge you to receive the money. They'll
no,
charge
they
you
don't.
if it's what's it called. They'll charge you. That's what I'm saying. They don't charge you to receive the money, but other guys that are reselling this thing
Oh, they charge you for inbound.
Yes.
Are you serious?
They charge a processing fee for processing that inbound transaction.
Wait, guys are
1%.
paying money to
Yes.
receive money.
Yes.
No comment.
You know, see, it was such a big deal when Number got their MFB or whatever, and they started saying now you don't have to pay for deposits because they've moved their thing in house and they are not relying on the third party provider they were using.
No, wait.
Ela app. Now they bought that microfinance bank, Flourish MFB. Now they can charge people, give people free deposit and do free transfer.
Wait. This one that I'm laughing, let me text somebody.
If you don't believe, you can check the Modify website. Paystack charges you now for transfer for virtual accounts.
He? What? I think I've done like enterprise financial services for so long that something sounds strange to me.
As they should.
That's what I'm saying. So it's one thing if it is maybe an e-commerce person that's doing this thing. Going deep inside it is long, right? But if you are, and there's also again there's a difference between if you say you're doing banking as a service or embedded finance. Like you say you're doing embedded finance and you're targeting all these guys that are not really fintech companies, I understand. But you say I'm doing banking as a service. my understanding of banking as a service is, is the cost of accounts, is essentially your foundational stuff. And foundational stuff, you do it because you want to go to market quickly. After a year, you want to bring these things back in-house and you want to control it. So I don't see a future where you have long-running contracts with somebody. This is not America. Anyway, but that's me being, because even banking as a service outside this country is also slowing down. They are getting absorbed. It's not as big as it used to be. The guys that have big clients are holding them tight. They'll give them at cost. Just keep using us.
It's interesting. I would have liked to be a fly in the room to hear what he sold.
What the pitch is.
Yeah.
I
a
agree.
solid pitch.
I've put the question inside product Slack for people to explain to me what they are currently doing. Because the way you guys have yarned this thing, it sounds a lot more pervasive than I realized. I'm sorry, I'm still shook about the inbound funding thing.
There's a processing fee for accepting a payment via a virtual bank account, like a virtual account. The source that is providing the virtual accounts, the licensed entity that's providing the virtual account is not charging anything.
All right, moving on.
Anyway, you also have to talk about how all these bankers don't even know what is going on.
A lot of bankers don't know. It's things that how they
No, because bankers sell the service to those aggregators.
Now, because as far as they are concerned,
and they are eating. As far as they are concerned, they are eating good. They are collecting floats. They are collecting small on the thing. So they are fine. Like, they don't care. Beyond this, they have other lines of revenue. They are not rolling in the mud.
There's a bank product manager that's in charge of this thing, and I'm sure he has not even clocked that this is what's happening. Anyway, that's besides the point. Another person raised Nestcoin.
Nestcoin raised
1.9 for Onboard.
I won't lie. I'm just gonna put it out there that I just saw the headline and I kept it pushing. So you guys feel free to.
I have something I want to say, but even for me, it sounds savage. So I'm just going to keep quiet about it and say I hope you've learned lessons now about how to not put all your money in one place. But
I don't want to talk about that incident. Let me talk about the product. As much as I insult crypto people here every 2 business days, I am actually a downloader of crypto apps. And I have Onboard. And it's an idea. And you hear like Yele talk about doing this. When you hear founders talk about these things and you use it, it's like, are we using the same? Is it the same thing I'm using?
That's the about selling now. They're selling.
And in my mind, I was like, these guys yarn these things like this, and I'm using it, and it's, as far as the way it looks like, it is a self-custody wallet, right? Like Abi, that's what they call it, self-custody, where you are your own bank, yes, and you can do P2P on-ramp into it.
See, break it down.
So there are 2 types of crypto wallets. So there's one that is, this crypto thing is like bank. I don't know why this is,
no, but
let me
just like bank.
It's like bank. Now, someone like Binance is like a GTB. You can deposit money into your GTB. You can use GTB to transfer. There are cost savings on the transfer. Blah 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 blah. Now,
the transactions they're doing, like the volume they're doing.
A self-custody wallet like Coinbase wallet, MetaMask and co. is you are your own GTB.
You are your own connection to Nibs.
You are your own connection to Nibs.
Nibs
right?
is the blockchain.
So you chest all the fees as it comes. So like now, I have $5 now in my Coinbase wallet or in my self-custody wallet.
You cannot touch it.
And I cannot move it because the fees to move it,
$10.
I've not reduced to the point where I can move it. So it has been like that for like 1 year now. Every 2 days I try, I'll download another wallet to see maybe there's a new technique for me to move this money, but it's still stuck. So that's the problem with banking yourself, is that you have all the attendant.
There's no protection.
There's no
the protection that comes at scale. You don't have it.
So I want to transfer USDT, and I need to have Ethereum for me to pay the fees. To now buy the Ethereum, I need to do another money. So if I do $20 of Ethereum, I can now use that to move my $5. Now, if this $5 was on Binance now, I could have moved it since, because Binance is very low fee. VC, everybody's helping us, manage cost. I'm not chesting it in full. So Onboard wallet is like a self-custody wallet where you're like banking yourself.
Too much work for me.
Now, what they are now saying is that to on-ramp and off-ramp, there's a P2P element, which is basically there's another person that you can do onboarding, blah, blah, blah. So in my mind, it's like, because Yele is like, that's the cheapest thing. But the way P2P works is like buying dollar in black market.
It's matching. Yeah.
It's matching. So the same way you see everybody list their price, is the same way I'll go on Binance and see everybody list their price. So I don't know what is like the cheapest thing there. So now they said they are going to add a virtual card. And Binance, okay, it's not available to Nigeria, sure, but Binance has a crypto card too. So
what is really going on?
I don't get it. No.
Oh dear.
And he's talking about, okay, this is the future, blah, blah, blah. Now, it's not that this crypto thing does not have its values, because, again, as an avid downloader of crypto, there's one app called Sling Money. I feel like I shared it with you and Ping at that time.
Yeah, but it's for the US.
But it's like Europe.
US.
Yeah, it's essentially like a remittance app. You inbound fiat, they convert it to USDC. When you want to send it out, they convert the USDC to whatever local currency. Like that guy, I get their angle. It makes sense. There's another one that's from the Philippines called Parallax, where they give you a virtual account where you can receive USD, like getting paid from Fiverr or whatever. Mm-hmm. You can now convert that money to USDT or USDC and either withdraw it to your whatever, or because in the Philippines they have like integrations with different mobile wallets where essentially they sell your USDC and they pay out into your thing. That's another use case that there is. I thought Onboard would be Yele doing it for us in our thing, but it's not like that. So I'm like, why you? I mean, okay, you have P2P, but why you? Okay, I mean, I'm my own bank. I don't really want to be my own bank.
As an aside, just on this matter of like banks, sorry, I saw some guys on Twitter, shitting on Nigerian banks that the banking we do here is not really banking, that everybody's just buying treasuries, that nobody's lending, they're not really doing banking things. I
feel like I saw it. It was that is this Smoothie Express? No, not Smoothie Express. He does healthy food,
yeah.
So fresh, yes. So the
and I was like,
saying they are not ready to the real sector.
So fresh guy. Me, I'm like, please don't even do real banking with my money. I beg you. Inside this place,
I feel like it would be a lot different if every time a bank wanted to give out a loan,
we should show customers
like crypto will vote. Will vote. Should we lend to this guy?
I promise you guys, when you see the people requesting loans,
you see when I tested.
In fact, the approval rate might be lower if you are the one approving.
When I tested Fint, when you see the profile of people that want to borrow, and then they'll because you're supposed to write a whole case for yourself. The nonsense that I used to see, I'm just like, what?
No.
Like, what?
I think a lot of people don't understand the whole.
You guys don't understand just how poor quality this market is. Like, I say it all the time because I genuinely want people to know that this place is not a good place, and if you're a good person in this country, in this industry, you will suffer.
No, because I think about like if it was my money and I was the one that was everybody came, the real sector came to me to pitch to me, I'll probably reject all of them.
See, I started my career in commercial banking with 1.5 billion naira bad debt or 1.4 billion naira bad debt. You guys don't know anything. Real sector. Still, the company is a still company. To collect our money back, they now got people to go and be stealing equipment from the company again. So we now have to pay to post Bopo around the factory
To protect your collateral.
to protect the collateral. So that we could sell the See, this place is a horrible place. Just anything that banks are, just allow them. At least when you go into the branch or you use your mobile app, your money is still there.
Use your card.
Your money is still there. It doesn't go anywhere. Yes, they might charge you suspicious fees here and there, 4 naira SMS here and there, but the bulk is still where you left it. Just leave it there, please.
There are only two entities that fully understand Nigeria. Nigerian politicians
And Nigerian banks.
and Nigerian banks.
And Nigerian bankers become politicians.
And Nigerian bankers have become politicians. And the ones that understand the times too, they know that this place is finished.
They don't do past themselves.
You know, it's like when Ezra posted that thing about not buying a house or renting, and people were like, and in my mind I was like, in the same breath that you guys are saying it, I can swear 2 tweets down the line, you can talk about how this country is messed up and how you need to japa. I was like, if you feel the country is messed up and you need to japa, why would you buy a house here? You said connect those two thoughts.
That's the thing. That's why people are using. I don't know what they're using to think, but it's not their brain.
Is this thing where we sort of, I'm sorry that we segued from crypto, but is this thing where we sort of have a plan in our heads? Like go to school, get out, get a job, get married, have kids, buy a house. So when you see somebody who can skip a couple of steps but is refusing to do so, it makes you irrationally upset. Like, how dare you have the funds but you are not buying, you are instead renting.
I was like, look, it's a very rational decision.
See, any house that you are not buying to live in this country, if your plan is rental income, don't worry, just go and sit down somewhere. Just go and sit down.
Okay.
Or buy dollars with that money. Raise that money and just buy dollars. It never fails.
I'd rather buy a house everywhere. Every continent, in every country. I can even buy a house in Sudan.
I can buy a house in Ghana.
I'll buy in Nigeria because I live here. I know what I'm seeing.
It's okay.
Oh man, but yeah, back to
Regular scheduled programming.
Crypto.
At least it's okay about crypto. Can we move on to Flutterwave?
Yes, please, let's move on to Flutterwave.
Alrighty, so Flutterwave recently launched Swap.
Swap.
It's all cannot just be private again.
Which I don't think I downloaded it. I don't see how it's materially different from Send. But I see some paid influencers saying, oh no, you need a dumb account for Send. I was like, nah, that's a lie. You don't need a dumb account for Send.
Well,
But Nosa, somebody asked you to explain something to her now.
I should explain what?
It's a good question to actually answer here. On the whole swap send thing. Like, what's going on there?
What's going on there is that our guy, regime has changed.
yes.
And as regime changes,
Yes, that line.
there are certain changes that are changing. So somebody's preparing for IPO. And this is good to me being very blunt with you. You have to do whatever it takes to get for the IPO to click.
See, remember, I don't know if you
It
remember.
means, again, like you said, they're expanding to India.
You're going to be competing with, is it Razor Pay or
Look, it does not matter. The press release has gone out. That's what people don't understand. The press release has gone out. As soon as press release is gone, the job is done.
What year was that I was telling you that there is no way they could have IPO'd that year?
It was last year.
See, they will have been finished from the day they submitted all those due diligence documents. That's when analysts will have finished them.
Look, Flutterwave is it systematically important? Is that what they call them?
Yes, but you can be systematically important without being public.
No, they are a systematically important institution in this country. That is true. But Flutterwave,
Actually, no.
I don't want to debate that because
But
you
carry
can
on.
debate it.
We can
But
debate it,
I
but
feel
carry on.
Let's just accept it is true. But at the same time, it's also a bloated entity. And when I say bloated, is that there are just so many things happening, so many activities that give it value. Now, this can be activities for the sake of activity, but for an outsider looking at it, you just see, wow, these guys have so much depth in the business. They are everywhere. They are
doing so
covered.
many
They're doing
things.
so many things. Whether it happens or whether it does not happen, it's people's business.
The depth of what is happening.
It does not matter. You don't need to know.
Tuition by Flutterwave.
Tuition by Flutterwave.
Send.
Flutter, send by Flutterwave. And send is a
Rave.
Send is a great
Barter.
product. Send is a great product, which is a funny thing. Because I use Send all the time. But I open Swap and I was like, no, it's the same thing. I put money. You tell me to pick the destination I wanted to go to. I put my American account. I put the money, you send it to my American account. This is what I was doing on Send.
Is the pricing any different?
It's official rate. I don't know if Send has aligned to official rate, but Send was black market rate.
Do they have an MTO license?
Yeah, they do.
Oh, okay.
But now they said it's a collaboration between Flutterwave and their BDC and Wema Bank. And you know, again, it's just many yarns inside.
Something that can be clean, straightforward. The yarns just seem unnecessary.
And the CBN,
convoluted.
and why I say regime, because even the CBN guy yarned that this will help Nigerians with their issues. And I'm like, I was like, the issue here is that you would have dollar.
Supply. The issue is, where is the dollar? Where is it?
Is it so that BGCs can be digitized? And
Well, that was temporary. Now that they push
there's a new guy.
the original guy.
Who's the original guy?
It's the City City Bank guy.
Oh, yeah. I saw
Yeah,
it.
big card.
Another banker.
You know, it wasn't a banker. It wasn't a banker.
In the bank small.
Oh.
Guy started working like 1980s.
Oh, I remember. He's not really. He's on the bank board. He's on.
That's what I'm saying. It's like,
He's on city board, but he's
Yeah.
not really banker.
but you know,
like that.
exactly. But when
And he
you
has
talk-
done public sector too for a
Again.
while.
again, where he was
budget.
Lagos State
Lagos
Commissioner
State,
now.
yeah.
In fact, the crew that is now there
He's reassembling the old
is
boys,
reassembling the whole gang.
and he has some
Minus
people so
Osibanjo.
heated. Yeah, because Osibanjo is already VP now. Can you do VP then become minister?
He wanted to run if he aligned.
No, but for real
Would have
though,
got the gang back
can
together.
you go from VP and then become minister? Isn't that like a
Anything is possible.
backward step?
Anything is possible in Nigeria.
I feel like the path, the
Laolu.
pathway is VP
Laolu.
to president.
Laolu, anything for the
Laolu,
money.
we know somebody.
Access.
We know somebody that was ED.
And now he's an honorable minister.
When those one that was ED, and it's now minister. And the thing was ED of, and the thing is minister of. They are not the same.
No, but wait, Nosa.
Anything for the
That
money
one,
and
he went
access.
from it's a real step up. He's ED of a subsidiary of a company, and then he left to contest for office for a certain office,
I didn't enter.
He didn't enter.
He now can't go back.
and then he became minister of the federation. It's not like
It's not like
that's like falling forward now.
Okay.
That's falling forward.
I feel
the one I'm questioning.
you're saying VP cannot go to minister.
How can you be VP? Then your next step is to become minister.
How can
It just-
how can you be governor and become minister of state?
you are closer to the center, metaphorically and literally.
Wike is governor and is now FCT minister. And so I don't understand.
it's governor of
He's governor of Abuja.
Look, in Nigeria, anything is possible. But that's an aside. What I'm saying is that Flutterwave's moves is like, you can see that this is their time. This is their...
They'll still get cooked,
There's-
sha. Like
they'll-
you can't get around it.
They'll get
But it won't be as bad because
Exactly, it won't
they'll
be as
have
bad.
backers.
It won't be as... Because there's so much... There are so many indicators that suggest It's not like Jumia. There's so many indicators. That's why I said the most important thing is that they are arguably a systematically important business. The extent of the reason why they're important is neither here nor there. It can be because we are finished people and there's really not much for you to do to become important. But when they call all the systematically important people to come out, Flutterwave will come out.
Okay.
I think we can move on from this.
I won't debate
How
it
long
with you
have
here
we-
because I'm looking at systematically importance from if we off you today, who is going to die? If you off Nibs today, we're all finished.
Wait now, exactly. But
If you off
Nibs is-
GTB,
but Nibs
we're
is
all
not,
finished.
But Nibs is not doing IPO. Which of them are doing IPO? Who is our son? The way we look, Flutterwave is like tech Dangote. And it's not as if Dangote is not systematically important.
No, so when we
Wait
started
now.
this
Wait,
episode,
wait,
you
wait,
asked for people to not sue you.
Wait.
I'm begging you
Wait,
now.
wait.
Don't let them.
Again, it's not as if Dangote is not like he's systematically important. But when you actually look at Nigeria and you gauge it,
That's a leap, bro.
if he's our cement, he's our billionaire. I don't understand.
Who's billionaire?
I saw
that thing to India, Nigerian billionaires, something, and his name was there.
If
I
we
was
are
like,
calling, if we are
interesting.
calling billionaires, we'll put our boy Dangote, richest black man, and we have to defend that. So even if it means we give him FX so he can do refinery,
Oh God,
it doesn't matter.
this
because
episode
that's our
has
son.
gone off.
It has got so
We
left.
are so lost right now.
Left. Please, let's quickly talk about the last two things, which is money missing.
Which is
Missing
actually
money
the
in
most
industry.
important thing. I've had so many thoughts on this.
Wallet Africa and floats.
But in fact, we can share wallets. It's floats that I want to discuss. Floats. Okay, let me give you. There was one company called OMG Digital, and they said they are BuzzFeed for Africa. For the record, Float is not a Nigerian company; they're a Ghanaian company. This is the Ghanaians doing bad now. They are OMG Digital, and they went to YC saying they are the BuzzFeed of Africa. The two founders, after the thing packed up, entered fintech. One went to do Dash, and the other one went to do Float.
And both
Wow,
of them have
that's real pedigree right there.
pedigree of doing
That's real pedigree.
pedigree of doing.
As repeat founders, they both collected bulk. Now, first one, Dash, we found out that he lied about his numbers. He cooked it.
Now storytelling, no, now
Cooked
storytelling.
it stupid. And I think they've suspended him. If it's Nigeria now, EFCC would have carried him, but I think they're still dragging that he chopped the bulk. Now, there's now Float. Now, I heard about this just because, remember, I told you, like, I heard this just like last year, like late last year, Q4. And the first time I heard the gist, I said, let me go and check his Twitter. There's no way you guys are missing their book. Because the way person told me that this guy has carried depositors' money and run. I said, if someone has carried depositors' money and run, he should be trending. I've been searching almost every other day this year. I didn't see trend. And I thought maybe the person that gave me the gist that like, this guy is Messiani. It was not when I mentioned, you said you went to Ghana and you mentioned it, I was like, me too, I've heard this gist before. And almost like a week later, that first article comes out.
Yeah.
I was like,
In fact, what I was hearing was that even that first article, the one from Tech about that, it was
like-
grossly understated.
Where it's like, oh, they cheated him on
Like
Binance
it's
P2P.
severity. Yeah, it sounded like, oh, I got scammed
a
and it's
mistake.
affecting me. So this is like, I'm a victim here and I'm trying to manage my clients.
Now, the Witch
When
Tracker
the
article
reality
came out.
is way more
and told
malicious.
us.
Our guys, they can sending fake receipts. I feel like once you even get the app to do fake receipts, you are too far gone. Like there's no redemption. There's nothing I want to hear again from you. You are a criminal.
And you know the funny thing is that this guy was one of the hashtag good founders. You know, all the good founders are like talking about the business, talking about ecosystem, and people are like,
you know, the thing is that this, for me, things like this, are making me like, you know how, like, when I say 2-3 years ago, the reason why most investors want to invest, like, why the reason why it would be easy for these float and dash guys to invest is because they've done YC. This is their second entity. Like, there's so many fundamental assumptions that
they just they check all the book
and
exactly. They checked it.
I'm now starting to. I've seen this hot take on the timeline, and I'm inclined to agree. I feel like if you've not done traditional finance,
you have no business doing
in any capacity, whether bank, finance company, mortgage, credit. You have no business doing fintech.
I will extend it and say, if you have not worked in an industry, you have no business building tech for the industry. Because it's the same thing that happened with
restaurants.
The restaurant one, and they were dragging her, but they did not like people that have no. That's why when they're looking for,
I feel like like many times, I'm sorry to call it, developers, especially the ones that can talk, they grossly underestimate the complexity that goes into other industries.
Did they not say that they can become master of industry in 5 business days?
That's true. And this actually even stems from like universities where somebody will be telling you that, oh, I did engineering, you studied English, our uni must have been a breeze for you. In 300 level, I walked into an exam hall where the English guys had used before us, and I saw like one of their
question.
I promise you, I give you 5 days, you are not doing that thing.
No.
Like, people just underestimate this thing. It must be easy.
It's also YC's fault, because all that technical founder, one of you must be a coder, must be a builder, is what has led us here. Because again, somebody gave their startup money to this guy. He does not have license. You put your own money inside. Then they now don't want to talk about it because it's like, oh, it's not good for the ecosystem.
Ecosystem.
Yeah, I know. Like, many people haven't talked about it, and it's actually a problem. It's a problem.
I told you, they said this guy is he's one of the good founders. Like, he does and says the right things. Repeat fund. He can yarn about ecosystem, yarn about funding ecosystem.
But once you start sending fake receipts, there is no redemption. There's no way back.
I just want to let you guys know, please. If your CEO tweets too much, those new people are not going to make it. It's a fact. Am I CEO? I'm not CEO.
No, I'm not looking at you. There's
no CEO that I know that tweets a lot that business is serious. My Oga does not tweet, and that's why I'm still employed.
My Oga does not tweet
exactly.
Either. In fact, he has like 4 followers, and I'm one of them.
Exactly. I mean, the chat pass that people think I'm the Oga, and I like it like that. Let the operators be tweeting. But the CEO, they should be too busy thinking about how they're going to pay us salary to be tweeting.
Bro, how to keep us a going concern?
If you see
to stretch the money that they have.
If you see your guy doing thread to get Elon Musk money, you are finished. Look, I'll make some exemptions. Someone like Tayo VOC of Paga. Tayo is Paga marketing. So I just charge it to the game that Tayo's content is building engagement so he can sell Paga, because he's an active seller of Paga. There are CEOs that are not selling their business, but they are just yarning their own. And it's not as if they are yarning their own, like they have like some obscure, like if you must tweet, let it be like niche things. Like you come on Saturday, Sunday, I'm insulting your club. As I can read that. Or you are yarning about a show that you watch. Not that you come here and be joining us to discuss ecosystem, to be discussing ecosystem, to be discussing industry. You always have an opinion. You are not one of us.
Oh God, you are a founder. Please leave the operators to be chatting shit on the internet.
Yeah, they're looking for people to do engagement with you, validate you, and be saying yes, boss. Not gonna make it.
They just won't give you.
This name is just flashing in my mind. I don't want this smoke.
It's a big red flag, and every founder I've seen that's like that. That's like very personal brand
focused.
The company's finished. These guys that do bookkeeping,
that hired personal brand keeper. He hired a personal
he has a personal brand manager.
Personal brand manager.
It doesn't work for the company, works for him.
The person works for him, yeah.
To be doing content for him, and the guy takes out Instagram ads and is like topless giving us business advice.
Are you serious?
Yes.
So the thing is, I think for me is a thing where people don't have many options because
Furo is that we're all conservative here. Don't worry before you go far.
No. Laolu, once I see my guy shirtless on
I'll resign.
Instagram,
I'll resign.
Like do it if it's your private no
God.
the way you're not using to advertise, you're not doing promoted tweet that be promoted Instagram posts. Stop it,
guys.
Stop it.
It's wild.
If I was a VC, I feel like that's one of the things. Checklist.
In your next investor meeting, we have board meeting.
Do you have Twitter? If you say no, okay, check. Do you have Instagram? No, check. Do you have LinkedIn? No, check.
You guys.
You wake up one Monday, you're going on LinkedIn to look for, maybe just see who looked at my profile. You just see your guy talking about business nuggets.
No, stop.
Maybe he's owing you salary.
Yes, okay.
He's owing you salary. He has not paid you, and he's talking about business. This thing.
How to knock your head?
It's like that.
That's what's going through my mind.
See, like that young lad that raised money for his invoice discounting and invoice discounting company. That they don't do work in Google. Since he raised that money, that bar has been on a roll with threads and content.
Who is this person?
Oh God, you guys are
Nigerian.
Yes. They just raised like I can't remember. There's debt and code. They lend based on your invoices, blah blah blah. If I was employed in that company, as soon as he yarned that Google thread, I'll start on LinkedIn looking for job, open to work.
Yeah.
Because this is not a serious person.
I remember exactly who you're talking about. I just can't remember his name.
This is not a serious person.
Oh man. No, but why did we skip wallets? Does that business still exist?
Wallet is a shell of itself. So why we want to talk about it? Because I think they're
and what's Spring Afrique?
Yes, they're spinning out a new thing called Spring Afrique. So again, because I'm always looking for all these things. So there was wallets. It went quiet. I think they don't have staff. I might be wrong, but they built a new app for customer support. So if you have issues, you download the new app and submit like dispute tickets.
See, this is my problem.
For me, that's
there are people that are doing they're not helping you do customer journey mapping. You're not thinking like what kind of.
So in my mind is that
I'm sure this one is not a customer journey mapping.
I think in my mind is that the guy that
maybe somebody that wrote the original code has carried the source code.
So they just spin off another thing. As soon as I was like, this is sign. So they now had another thing called crypto.world, which was an Ethereum wallet. I didn't really announce it, but it used to be on their website. And now they are spinning off a new thing called Spring Afrique, which will be a new bank of the future. And it is essentially wallet plus Ethereum wallet. So
Interesting.
They haven't announced it, but every day they drop like motivational quotes or just some random thing. Again, I worry about that business.
Yeah.
I feel like NSAS, when Providence scattered virtual bank accounts for everybody, I don't think they've recovered since then. So I actually hope they get on their feet. But back to Float, we cannot leave Float because this guy chopped their money.
He chopped plenty people's money.
And
not just individual money, corporate money.
Yes. Startups were giving him money.
How?
And none of these startups.
But what's wrong with founders? He doesn't have license. How are you giving him
license? Is it license? Nobody cares about license.
Is it not on this podcast that I said, if you raise money, just go and put it inside Zenith Bank? Because at least bankers is bad.
You know your money will come out.
You know that money will come out. Well, now, why are they going to find this guy? And I hate it when all these people be like, this is why.
If you raise dollar, meet Stanbic IBTC, buy dollar fund.
This is why I hate when all these guys say, fintechs are not regulated, we need more regulatory oversight. I was like, there's nothing that a regulator could have done to stop that. You give a man in Ghana money because they don't get it
Because there's personal brand.
because he feel he's doing startup well.
Let me not even lie to you guys. All this one that I'm laughing now, I really believed that business will float. I believed it that year.
Me, once I see a founder talking
That year. Because I like to do benefit of the doubt and things.
You do benefit of that, but when I say founder chatting too much,
But
I'm just waiting for it to cast.
Now, not so much. I'm looking at the pedigree of the founders as well. If you're in this country and I don't see Zenith or Access or Stanbic in your past, or I don't see JP Morgan or Credit Suisse or this thing, I want to be rolling the mud in fintech with us. No. Let me even see Leadway Assurance, or what's this marine insurance company? Let me even see it. You will probably have
experience,
like better context than just entering the thing black. It's like how, for the love of God, you're running a card business and you're coming online to tell us like, oh, I just discovered there's such a thing as chargeback fraud. I'm like, what do you mean you just discovered chargeback fraud? Your product is a card product.
How can you not know what chargeback?
I'm not even a card guy. In my life, I've not done cards, but I know what it is.
And now people will put their money inside. When they cannot remove it now, they'll start saying fintech is bad. As it's you that puts the money that's bad. You don't know.
You need to look, and maybe I should soften my position to say, even if you don't have fintech background, you can hire people that have like financial services background to run products for you, do the product thinking for you, and you just do sales and marketing. Just run the sales of the thing.
If you are not a regulated entity, I'm sorry. If you put your money in an entity that's not regulated, anything you see, take it like that. I know Nigeria is an anyhow place and regulation does not mean something, but I've seen...
Nosa, regulation means something to an extent.
Exactly, that's what I was going to say.
To get that, you must have put something in place.
I've seen what it takes for...
Even cooperative license, you have to put something in place.
I've seen what it takes for CBN to approve board of directors.
Yeah.
Bruh.
And I know how stressful the process is. That I know, okay, at least worst case, there's somebody that has sense in your area. But unless, you can never.
Yes.
And anyway, all of you that had issues with Float and you didn't want to release gist, that's why you're stuck. It's 1 year now, your money has not come out. If you're releasing this gist now, maybe we could have helped drag him. If he trended.
Type of person, I'm not sure there's any dragging.
No, now it's on Twitter that they helped that girl recover that her 17K.
And that one, that boy didn't have clout either. Now
would have done Twitter space. We've discussed the issue. I'm sure we'd have found this guy.
All the wicked bosses that we did Twitter space for, have they stopped being wicked?
You know what I'm just thinking about is that this money was missing and this guy was tweeting about Elon Musk changing Twitter. It was giving us takes on topics du jour, and I'm like, I enough.
I need to go and start following these founders.
I said Laolu for a year. After I heard that, I'll check. Nobody's complaining. I'll check his timeline. I said, this guy is not moving like somebody that has lost money.
Yeah. Anyways, I think we can end the episode there.
Yeah.
On that note, we'll catch you in the next episode.
Yeah.
That's if they don't pack us up.
Yes, because there are many things on here that will put us in trouble. But Baba God is in control.
First up.